Wait, is this real? Hey Giants fans, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. If you love the Giants and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. So at the recording of this video, just a little while ago, there's a report that came out that Aaron Rodgers reached out to the New York Giants about joining the team. Call me crazy. If I'm the Giants, you have to at least entertain it. You have to. Because Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game of football, he is. If you could get him to mentor, let's say a Shedeur Sanders, if you pick him with the 3rd overall pick, I think that would be very important. Now, you don't have to trade anything away like you would have for Matthew Stafford. Rodgers is just a free agent. You just go and you sign him. Stafford, you would have to, number one, trade some assets away, and number two, give him a very rich deal. The guy wants $50 million per. That's very expensive, especially for an aging quarterback. I don't think he's worth $50 million per year. I don't. So Aaron Rodgers, if that is an option, I think it would be smart for the Giants to go and explore that option. I really do. I think it's 100% worth it. But in other news, Jordan Rannon reported that it is clear after a couple days in Indianapolis that the Giants' top priority is Matthew Stafford. See what happens with him and the Rams and move on from there. But he then followed up and said, it still seems less likely to happen than happen at this point, but we're in wait and see mode. All eyes on Rams and Stafford. So it just seems like that the Rams and Stafford just really want to get something done. Okay, that's all well and good. But the Giants' top priority, according to Jordan Rannon, is Matthew Stafford. Pat Leonard also just reported that the Giants met with Rams QB Matthew Stafford's representatives on Tuesday. A potential trade is still very much in the works. Like I said, if Aaron Rodgers is knocking on, listen, you're not a Matthew Stafford away from being a legitimate Super Bowl contender. You're not. I'm sorry, but you're not. And he's going to cost you a pretty penny. But if you could go and get Aaron Rodgers, and what happens if you go and get Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers has a big year for you? I know he's older, but what happens if he does that? And now you're in the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers puts up an Aaron Rodgers kind of season. And I know that's kind of unrealistic. I totally understand that. But I'm just saying, he's not going to cost you $50 million per. He's just not. And Matthew Stafford is going to cost you that, and he's going to cost you capital. He's going to cost you assets. It's going to cost you more than just money. Rodgers is just money. That's it. I think pursuing guys like Rodgers, like Wilson, I think that's very, very smart. I was on the Matthew Stafford train. I was. But then I heard that the guy wants $50 million per, and I'm like, oh, pump the brakes. Let's relax. Pump the brakes. I don't think that would be the best idea, the best thing to do. I don't think it's the best idea. So if Rodgers is calling you, explore that option. And I'm sure the Giants are, if this is true. But Joe Schoen had a couple of interesting comments that we're going to go over. This is from an article from, once again, our boy Jordan Rannon of ESPN. Even if you get a young quarterback, you'd like to have a vet in the room with them to show them the ropes and how to be a pro. We're looking at all different avenues. Is this guy going to be good for a young quarterback, or is this guy a starter? Can we get a guy in the draft? And if we do, should we have more of a guy who can develop and show a guy how to be a pro? We're going to look at vets, the draft, and trade candidates. We're going to look under every rock to find the best prospect for us going into the 2025 season. So if you're looking under every rock and Aaron Rodgers is knocking on your door, I don't think that's a bad. I really don't. Now, I don't. I'm sorry. You might think I'm freaking nuts because it didn't work out for him over in New York, and you might say he's a bit of a diva. That's fine. You could have that opinion. But I think you go and get Rodgers for probably a fraction of what Stafford is going to get. It's not a bad idea. So obviously the Giants are not going to reveal their hand, right? They're not going to tell you what they're fully going to do. And they shouldn't. They have the 3rd overall pick in the draft. But it just seems that Joe Schoen is keeping an open mind and is open to do just about anything to potentially improve this team. Now, when talking about the quarterback position some more, Schoen said this: I'm taking swings at that position. It's the most important position and it's hard to find. Keep swinging. Keep swinging at the position until you find one. I look back at John Schneider. He's traded a 3rd round pick for Charlie Whitehurst. Didn't work out. Matt Flynn paid him $10 million, but then he grabbed Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. Just keep swinging at the position. Again, I believe in our process and the people in the building from a scouting standpoint, the coaching standpoint. So keep swinging and we'll try to find one. Schoen then went on to say, we're going to look for the best players available that can help us win games in 2025. That is what we're going to do. Of course, Schoen's trying to keep his job beyond 2025. But I think he could do just that if you go and get a very short-term QB like a Russell Wilson or an Aaron Rodgers, somebody that you're not married to beyond 1 year. I think that would be the best route for the Giants to go. And then at number 3, if you are in love with Shedeur Sanders, and apparently they are, then go grab Shedeur if you really have that much faith in him. But there are NFL experts who believe that Sanders is going to fall right past the Giants, that the Giants will pick Travis Hunter. Right, they got, I believe Mel Kiper has Abdul Carter going 1 to Tennessee, and then 2, Browns taking Cam Ward, 3, Giants taking Hunter, and then at pick 7, the Jets taking Shedeur Sanders. So he has the Raiders passing on Sanders. We'll see what happens. We'll see what develops. But if the Giants do go the route, even if the Giants go and take a Travis Hunter or somebody else at 3 and don't take a QB, I think signing Rodgers or Wilson just makes a load of sense, because then he's not caught. Neither of those guys are going to cost you $50 million. If they do, I'd be shocked, but they won't. And then you could spread around. They have a lot of cap space. You could spread around that cap space even more and build around that quarterback to put your team in the best spot to win in 2025, like Joe Schoen is saying here. He's saying he wants to get the best players available to give the Giants the best chance to win in 2025. If that's the case, I don't foresee them picking a quarterback at 3. I don't. I see them signing somebody or trading for somebody like a Stafford and then drafting, let's say, a Travis Hunter or somebody of that, and going from there and building around what you have, which I would be for. Because if you bring in a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders, you better put a team around them, because if you don't, the kid's going to fail. And then also, too, if you bring in a guy like Aaron Rodgers, whoever you take at 3, let's say Travis Hunter, and he plays, let's say, on 3rd down or something. Now you have Neighbors and Hunter on 3rd down. You have another weapon there. And then you have a lockdown corner. And the Giants need help in that area too. Their cornerbacks stink outside of Drew Phillips. They didn't have a good year last year. Adoree Jackson, sure, he did okay, but the Giants barely signed him. Cordell Flott did not have a great year. Deonte Banks, once again, 2nd year in the league and just didn't cut the mustard. They need help at the cornerback position. When you have a premier player like Travis Hunter, if he's there, you go and take him. And I think that's why Mel Kiper has the Giants taking Hunter. I really do. But this is big news. Aaron Rodgers reaching out to the Giants. Matthew Stafford being the Giants' top priority, I think the Giants are going to go that route instead of picking a quarterback at 3. But if they do decide to grab a quarterback at 3, I think going the Rodgers route is still a good way to go because at least Sanders will have, or Ward will have, a mentor. But you could go Hunter at 3, sign Rodgers or Wilson, and go a quarterback in the second round, Milroe or Dart. Anything can happen. I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you so much. Take care.